Tehran has supplied Moscow with several hundred short-range ballistic missiles. According to the Wall Street Journal's sources, the first delivery of weapons has already arrived in Russia. The administration of the U.S. President Joe Biden called such actions a serious escalation, Reuters reported. Kyiv urged Tehran to refrain from providing any weapons to the aggressor country. The Ukrainian Foreign Ministry stressed that the deepening of Iran's military cooperation with Russia would entail serious risks for global security.
Iran must completely and definitely stop providing weapons to Russia in order to prove with actions, not words, the sincerity of the statements of its political leadership about non-involvement in feeding the Russia's deadly war machine. We warn the official Tehran that if the fact of Iran's transfer of ballistic missiles to the Russian Federation is confirmed, it will have devastating consequences for Ukrainian-Iranian bilateral relations. From a statement on the website of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine.
The West predicted Iran's intention to transfer missiles to Russia back in the summer. At the same time, according to the Wall Street Journal, European and U.S. officials began preparing new sanctions against Tehran. These measures may affect individuals and legal entities involved in supplying arms to Moscow, as well as the national air carrier Iran Air, which may be banned from flying to Europe. However, no matter how much pressure is applied to Tehran, analysts are convinced that the Iranian authorities will not confess to supplying missiles to Russia.
This is traditional Iranian approach. They don't recognize anything. They do things, but they don't admit it, based on the principle of the so-called broken ashtray. Even if you know it's an ashtray and you put all the pieces back together, the final guarantee that it's an ashtray is only when you find the last piece. And the last piece, in this case, is the acknowledgement by the country that it is supplying arms. Iran does not and will not do that.
In exchange for the arms supplies, Iran expects serious financial injections from Russia into the country's economy, analysts at the U.S. Institute for the Study of War believe. In addition, in exchange for the sale of missiles, Tehran wants to receive Russian Su-35 fighter jets and assistance in modernizing its cyber capabilities as well as the missile and space program.
Iran has sought cash for its allying economy in return for selling weapons to the Kremlin. Iran has also sought to procure Russian Su-35 fighter jets, and Iranian officials pressed Russia for the delivery of Su-35s during a meeting with Russian Security Council Secretary Sergei Shoigu in Tehran in August 2024. The acquisition of Su-35s could enable Iran to more readily and independently project air power, given that the current Iranian air fleet is outdated and poorly maintained. From a report by the Institute for the Study of War. In fact, Iran is in a state of war with Israel. Both countries make no secret that they are preparing or are ready to strike each other. Therefore, Iran needs modern weaponry that will minimize the possible damage that Israel and the US could potentially inflict.
Since the beginning of Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine, Tehran has been supplying Moscow with Shahed kamikaze drones, artillery and tank shells, and has authorized the manufacture of its attack drones on Russian territory. Having expanded military, economic, media and political cooperation, Iran and Russia are preparing to sign a comprehensive strategic partnership treaty. According to the Russian foreign minister, the document will be signed in the near future. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavskaya, Nikita Skoblikov, UATV News.